Hello, 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 people. This is Rex Red. I am back with another Cakewalk by BandLab tutorial. Today, I will be tracking guitar in Cakewalk. I have my Les Paul here, and I'm going to be laying down a track. And so I think the first tip that a little bit of polka to start this off. It's always got to have a little bit of fun here. A little bit. All right, so without too much ado, we're going to get right into it. Now I have to switch over to this computer. Okay, so I am in here in Cakewalk. That is my master. These are my bus tracks. So I'm going to minimize those for now, and I'm going to also minimize all of my tracks. And okay, we'll bring them down 1, 2, 3, 4 just so we can see. Okay, they are all still expanded. It's the way I left them. Okay, so we're going to go here. This gets called up, that gets called up, and this I'm not sure what I'm doing here because they're not disappearing. Oh, this is another one. So I have them completely expanded here. I think if I go like that and hit Control or Shift, no, it didn't work. Well, we're just going to, just so I can get some space here, because these are all expanded, and it makes scrolling up and down through them a lot harder to navigate. So let's see if there's anything else still here. No, okay. At the top of this track list, I'm going to add Insert, and we're going to call this Lead Guitar. Lead Guitar. And I'm going to arm the track. I'm going to bring it in. Now I have to go in here and turn on. Now the thing about tracking in Cakewalk is you have to learn about ins and outs, inputs and outputs. And you figure, okay, an input is when you want to send your guitar, plug your guitar into Cakewalk, into your audio interface, and you want to input it into Cakewalk. And you have to learn how to go into Cakewalk, and you make sure that this is set to all here, okay, up in this little drop-down box. And then these will all drop down inside of each track, and it will show you your inputs and outputs and things like that. And if you don't have it set to all, they won't show. And by default, they don't, which I think is kind of terrible because it just makes it really difficult for a beginner to use Cakewalk. It's like, well, they're just not here. And I know that they're probably trying to lessen the amount of complexity that people are faced with when the moment the program opens. And it's like, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. But the most important thing to somebody who's beginning is, how do I get my guitar into the track? Or how do I get hook my Cakewalk hides your inputs and outputs, okay? To make things harder for you. Okay, and by default, they are hidden. So every time you create a new project, you have to come up into this all, and you have to click on this. You have to come up to this little box here and click the drop down and select all, and suddenly it's like, oh, I can now add an input into my track. I can actually funnel some kind of sound or synth or mic or guitar or whatever kind of your harmonica or whatever you're trying to record. You can actually select the input. So now what I've done is I've gone in here and shut off some of my inputs because I was having some problems. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn 3 and 4 on, apply, and these are the inputs. Okay, close that. These are the inputs on my audio interface. Now, if you have you have a sound card in your laptop, like if you have line in on your laptop, then in order to hook a microphone or a guitar into your computer, you're going to need a mixer, an external mixer, and the outputs of the mixer have to go into the line in of your laptop or of your computer into your sound card line, and it's usually a little green connector, and TSSR or TRRS, I can never get that right, connector that goes in. I used to just call them 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch, okay? And so for many, many years, that's what I called them. And now they're TSR or whatever connectors, okay? So, which is fine. So now, when I come in here, I can see that I have other inputs, okay? Because I just turned them on, and we go to File, Preferences. And if your input isn't showing up, you have to, and you don't need, right now I'm only using the 3/4 output, and that's going out of Cakewalk and into my RODE broadcasting system, so that it's going into actually the Fireface, and then coming out of the Fireface and going into whatever I need, my speakers and all of that. I'm splitting it off to a lot of different sources. So so that's how that works. So now I'm able to select the input that my guitar is plugged into, and when I strum my guitar, you can't hear it right now, but if I turn this on. All right, so now I have an input. So once you can, and if you can see, I selected this to echo the input, and let's see now, how else? Okay, so this is going out to 3-1, so to my the output of my master down here, okay, and that also is showing the output, and that's going out to 3/4, so I'm able to turn that up. Now, what happens as you're working with Cakewalk, and I'm going into a little more detail here than I normally do. I would just probably come into this video, start recording the guitar track, but I'm laying down a little bit of information as to how these inputs and outputs work in Cakewalk. And right now, I have the guitar coming in, and the problem is that this song is pretty much done except for the guitar work. And so what I've done is added a lot. As you notice down here, there are some effects here. I don't have as many effects in this song as I normally do, but this Ozone 10 is a huge effect, okay? And these Rematrix, the Neutron 4, are also huge effects. And what they do is they take and they steal some of the computing power away from your input. And so what you have to do is you have to right-click here, and you have to bypass these and bypass these. Bypass the track racks of this type, and everything's going to get really quiet when I play it. But I turned it back, and I'm not sure why everything is going so slowly here. We're going to close Photoshop. New. And see if anything else is open here. I've had this sitting open like all night, so let's see if there are some things. Let's close Splice and just close a few things here that I don't need open. We'll quit Skype. And I don't need this Intel Turbo thing here. And let's see now the Google Drive. Those, I think I'm kind of stuck with them open. But what I am going to do is turn off. Let's go into here. And that's the wrong one right here. This one. And we're just going to pause syncing for 8 hours of my, so I don't have files syncing to the internet while I'm trying to record. Okay, now it looks like it's playing pretty smoothly. So by turning these effects off, what it does is it gives me more headroom so that when I record, there's not like a delay. Now when I strum that, before when I strummed the guitar, I strummed it and it took a moment before I could even hear. And you just can't play with that kind of delay on your sound. So so what I do is I wait until I have everything set up before I put the guitar in my lap. And the reason why is I've played guitar for so many years that I have this constant back pain from being in this guitar pose. And so the minute I get the guitar in my lap, suddenly I'm on a time clock, and it's like saying, okay, the longer you hold this guitar in your lap, the more chance you're going to be sleeping tonight with back pain. So I normally don't have my back is fine, but so I just make sure that I have everything set the way I kind of am going to want it before I put the guitar. And a Les Paul is also notorious for being uncomfortable to hold. First of all, the body of it is like heavy, like a refrigerator. And then the way it sits in your lap, it doesn't sit like right, and it doesn't have these little curved sides that are smooth and then lay against your body. It's just like laying a big gigantic something heavy like a car in your lap or something. It just doesn't feel good in your lap. But the results of playing the Les Paul is you end up with a guitar that I would recommend the Les Paul guitar over, or Les Paul style with the Les Paul style pickups, guitar over any guitar, and at least as a first guitar, because you don't have to amplify it after. You don't need a preamp. It plays loud, and you get a nice clear signal that's not full of all kinds of radio interference and stuff. You just end up with a nice clean sound. And so if you're going to, I have about 15 guitars. If you're going to buy a guitar, I would suggest getting a Les Paul style. It doesn't have to be a Les Paul. It can just be a Les Paul knockoff, a copy of a Les Paul, as long as it has the humbucker pickups. You got 2 humbucker pickups in it, and it has that high gain kind of thing so that you don't have to amplify it again. And so I can plug this right in. I don't have to plug this into my preamp. I can plug this guitar directly into my audio interface and have it play beautifully. And record beautifully with it, and have plenty of gain. So a Les Paul, the humbucker pickups, I would start with a guitar like that, okay? And if you can get it in a form factor that isn't uncomfortable, like a real Les Paul body, that's fine also. So, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tuner into my channel. Now you can get tuners. You need a VST tuner, or you can just use your phone and download a tuner on your phone. But you have to tune your guitar, or you can get one of those little teeny tuners and stick it on the neck of on the bit. I guess not the bit, but the stock of the guitar, and But you have to have some kind of tuner. I like to use the Guitar Rig tuner, and it's kind of overkill because it has to open this gigantic Guitar Rig app here, VST plugin, but it does the job. And so when I click this and go here, we have a tuner. And as long as I have this, now I have to turn this on. I guess it doesn't look like it's on. I guess so I'm gonna just make sure that's on. Okay. And now it might be time to put the guitar in my lap. So let's see what we have. Here is the Les Paul guitar. And what I'm going to do is take this and angle it down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I think that's okay. So I didn't sit with the guitar in my, and I'm already kind of like, I'm already now feeling the effects of this guitar. Throw all this stuff over here. Okay. Now, what happened to? Let me put this here. Okay. All right. So it shouldn't be that far out of tune. Okay, now I'm going to set this, make sure just all the buttons are turned up and it's in the middle. So now I'm going to first preface this by that I am not a professional guitar player. Okay, I can play guitar for hours and do live. I can play all kinds of songs and everything, but they're usually just the chords, and I'm not like this massive. I'm not like a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of guitar player, but I can get by with a little bit of lead and enough chords so that I can play them in my songs and do what I need to do. So just enough. Because I had to learn all kinds of other things like recording and singing and songwriting and publishing and language like rhyming and all this other things. So I had to learn a bunch of other stuff. So okay. Okay, see, we do have a nice sound now. You can hear that, I assume. And we bring this down a little bit more. See, it took me all this time to get this set up, and that's why I say set up as much as you can before. Okay, now let's tune the guitar. All right, I don't see anything coming through here. Okay. Tuner. There we go, something. Don't think it's loud enough coming in, so I think what I have to do is bring it in louder, the gain louder. Yeah, we'll bring the gain here louder. Hey, okay, let's make sure that's going to 5, 6. All right, it's not. This has got to be going to 5. Okay, all right, that's 3, 4. Okay, I see. So we're going to go here. This is our 3, 4. 5/6. Zero. So setting up your inputs and outputs, they are not. Good afternoon, Angus. Good afternoon to you. Hope you are having a lovely day in the hinterlands. Like a castle wall stands around your heart, never to fall and never too hard. What we have. That's kind of loud, but all right. The section that we're looking to do is right in here somewhere. Best kind of love, best kind of love, best kind of love, best kind of love, the best kind of love. Okay, so that's the section. So we're going to have to start. Best kind of love. Star that shines. Okay, so that I could have possibly even used that, but so we need to arm this track. Let's hope. Wow, suddenly. Why? Okay, something's got switched here again. My inputs keep getting switched on me. All right. Hello, hello. Inputs keep getting switched. Let's see. How loud is this? So it's the output that's loud, not the input. Okay, just a moment here now. Auto gain. There we go. Instrument. So it's coming in louder, but we can turn this down a little bit. This is still kind of loud. Still loud. Why is it so quiet here? But it's all right. Let's see now. Let's bring this down some more. Okay, I think it's because I have it going out to 5. That's why. Okay, so this can come back up. We're not dealing with this here. Okay, there's our instrument, but it's going out. To 5/6. This is the one here. So I could have used that if I just hit record, like this kind of like a star that shines and brightens kind of like a star that shines and bright. Okay, see, I think we got something that's kind of like a star that shines and brightens kind of like a star that is kind of. Okay, so I think I just happened to nail it the second time there. So I think let's see what we've got here. Let's see if we can turn this into a guitar track. So remove empty take lanes. We'll trim that little note off the beginning here. And we're going to right click on here. Let's save this. And maybe we fixed our problem. And I'm going to get this guitar out of my lap for a moment. It might come back, but oh, that heavy, heavy guitar. Oh, it's made of solid lead. Okay. It's kind of star that shines. Okay, there's our lead, but it just needs to be okay. So we're going to go File, Save As, and so far we haven't lost our. That's a very good sign. Sometimes there's USB connections. Now we'll put the mic back on me so you don't have to look at my shirt. Okay, now we are here. And we're going to click on this. And we are now at 8. Let's save this. Now I'm going to right click on this and put Melodyne on here. And I don't know why it comes up with these all here, but we lead guitar. That's what we want. This is really nice. So now we're gonna bring this up into here. So that's, we don't want it too small here, but we want this small so we can see where the notes are starting and ending. Okay, we go here. star that shines and bright. So that is it. That I worried all last night about this. It's like, because I knew what I wanted to play. I knew that I wanted to do that the double note there, kind of. It's called a drone, really, like in this section here, where. That's called a drone right there, okay? Like a star that shines and brightens. Okay, so what we're going to do is we can get rid of this guitar now. Get rid of this. Well, maybe this guitar rig. We can do some fun stuff with this guitar rig. Check this out. This is like an amazing. This right here is a guitar player's dream. No results here. Where are my presets? Where are the presets, people? People. It's because I've switched my thing up. Let's open up. Okay, no results. Please try a different combination of filters. There aren't any filters. What happened to my presets? Well, the components, I got to reload the no results. Okay. Read only. Okay, that didn't help. Okay, we don't want any of these. Okay. Why? File. Preferences. What's here? Library. Scan for new presets. This is helpful. Import complete. Show legacy components. Scan again. Reset library. Restart guitar rig. Okay. We'll try that again. Well, we don't need it here right now, but we'll put it back. Insert audio effect. Guitar rig 6. Where are our presets, guitar rig? Okay, here we go. Importing rack presets. This is the most amazing guitar rig. If you're like a guitarist, this right here is, years ago, you used to go to the music store and you'd buy these little boxes and they'd give you like fuzz or reverb or flange and all these different, you had to have a little box and you'd hit them with your foot and you'd engage that effect. Well, this is all of those little boxes right here in one program, okay? And the thing is inside that little box is a little chip, and in that chip is the box's effect. Well, when you have a computer, you have like a chip that's this big, and so you can put all of those boxes on that chip, and because that chip is like much bigger, the effect and the ability of the computer to take this algorithm of sound and turn it into something like stadium type of sound rather than this little teeny box and of sound, it's just amazing. So this is every one of those little boxes that you used to be able to buy. You still can. Why buy them when you can have guitar rig? And you can just use as many as you want and set them the exact way you want, and you can animate the knobs, have the knobs actually moving while the song's playing. On any knob, any parameter, you can animate. So it's not, so you don't have to bend over and turn the knob and say, oh, I need a little bit more reverb, I need a little bit more of this, or I need a little bit less gain. You can just animate it in your song. So this is a guitar player's dream right here. And this is not the only plugin that does that. I have a few others, but this is amazing. Now I have all of my sounds back. And there's one in particular called, let's see, characters. Let's go with Spacious Creamy Snowflakes. And see, this preset loads a whole bunch of those boxes all together, and they're already set up by some guitar player who said, I like it when I use the cat filter with the ROM area and the psychedelic delay, and and I split them and I Y them off and then I run them and I set all the knobs like this, and I get to use their preset, and I don't have to be this massive guitar player just to use their preset. So like this. So I can turn this rematrix off, and now let's see what this sounds like. Star that shines. Now, if that's too much, I can come here and say, well, I just don't want quite as much of the mix, or so much reverb, or so much of this, and I can come in and tailor this sound, but I might be able to use it just the way it is if I set this right. So what I'm going to do is send this to the master now. Like a star that shines and brightens. So yeah, so that's how you do it, people. And so I may not need this rematrix. I just might go with this guitar rig effect, which is one of my favorite effects. Best kind of love, best kind of love, best kind of love, best kind of love, best kind of love. Kind of like a star that shines and brightens. Okay, so now that I have my guitar part here, now I might use this again at the end here somewhere. Kind of. Okay, let's turn this loop off so it doesn't keep. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the beginning of this, turn this snap on, and snap it to a half note, so that when I copy this and move it to the end, I can just line it up with a half note beat and have it. See how that works, people? That's how that works. guitar out again while we have it here. Do this again. Now, get rid of these little pieces, and let's see. Like a castle wall. Okay, region effect, Melodyne, create. Let's go back out to, let's go to the beginning. Okay, let's get rid of this piece of dead air. Like a castle wall. Like a castle. Like a castle wall that stands around your heart, never to fall and never to. Okay, so we can turn back on our effects now that we turned off, because, okay. Sorry about that. Like a castle wall that stands around your heart, never to fall and never to part. What we have is more than the sky above. sky, like a butterfly. The best kind of love, the best kind of love. You fill every dream and how your love beams. The best kind of love. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for staying in and watching and listening. Okay. I think there's just way too much echo on this guitar rig, so I've had to do this before and just like tone it down. I think it's the okay, so we're gonna go into this would be feedback, and the feedback is off, so I don't know how that could be the feedback. So this feedback here, let's see what this is. Let's I can always reload it if I mess it up. Let's see. Let's take this off, the record input. And let's go here now. What are we doing? We're going to solo this. Okay. Okay, now we go here. Let's just have this run back through our loop again. Let's turn this down a little bit. Okay, this isn't even on, so that's not even on. So it's this that's on. All right, I think instead of this, I think I'm just going to create my own reverb effect, because there's some kind of like pre-delay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go down into the master bus and create 4 tracks. Let's get these, clean up the master bus a little bit. Okay, we're going to go down into here. Insert audio. 3, 4. Now we're going to go, this is going to be lead guitar, lead guitar. These are effects I know how to use, kind of. And so this is going to be delay. First one. First one is going to be You use the shortest one, which would be the delay, which would be like 2 echoes. Then you use chorusing, which is like a few echoes. And then you use reverb, which is hundreds of echoes. So you go with the shortest delay first in your chain of stuff. This isn't serial anyway, this is parallel, so I guess it really doesn't matter, but and then we're going to send this lead guitar out to those 3. So we're going to insert send. We're going to send this out to the delay, send it out to the chorus, and send it out to the reverb. So we have 4 actually. We have the dry guitar, which would be here coming through, and then we're blending in these 3 others. For delay, I'm going to use a blue, it's called Blue Nomad Factory Blue Delay, Blue something, Blue Tubes. And we're going to turn this up to wet and just leave those the way it is and sync it so that the delay, the echo, there's like the 2 echoes or 3 echoes. I'm going to turn this on and EQ some of the bass out a little bit and some of the highs so it's not too rumbly. Okay. And then, so there's our delay. And then the chorus, I'm going to use a Waves chorus. It's called Kaleidoscope. We'll use a stereo chorus. And I have one here that's called, I think, Cream. This is one of my favorites here. I might have to edit that. Okay, the Kaleidoscope, we want this to have now our mix, okay, is going to be somewhere in here. Where's the mix? Level, mix. I don't see it here. Threshold, dry level. Okay, so I think we want this like this, just down, so this. Okay, we're not going to mess with that yet. Now we got one more to go, and that is our reverb. Insert, and I'm going to use a convolution reverb, and that would be here. Why not do with the guitar one made for guitars, which would be this JP Verbs. I'm not sure which one to use yet, so we'll go with the melody guitar. We're going to turn the dry off and turn the wet way up. Now, I'm not sending it yet into this lead guitar yet, so what we have to do now is go up here and send this into the lead guitar so it will go through all of those other effects. And then before I play it, I'm going to just take a rough guesstimation and turn these way down, because they will be very... you make them as strong as you can so you can just add a tiny bit into your sound, okay? So let's see what we have now. See, I think that's a little more subtle. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, what I'm going to do is compress it. We're going to compress it so it has a nice kind of smooth feel to it, so it's not getting like quiet and loud kind of thing, but it's all one kind of continuous. Cut some of the bass out. Okay, there's that. So now we're going to go back into our effects down here and see. Now what I'm going to do is put on here, insert audio effect. We're going to check and make sure that these reverbs aren't, and these effects aren't canceling each other out. So we're going to put this imager on them. And we're going to put that on the chorusing. Let's see what the chorus looks like. It's nice when you can actually add more width to them. Okay, that's that one. Now one of these is, I bet the reverb's going to be out of phase, but let's see. Okay, the delay, the echo is okay. Okay, this tells you if the tail is a little bit off, but that's okay, I guess.
Like a star that shines and brightens up the night.
Not too bad. Okay, so now let's insert this also into here, the imager on our reverb. See what this looks like. So this is real bad. I don't really like that reverb there, so we want something a little bit.
Like a star that shines. Star that shines. Like a star. star that shines.
I don't know why, but usually this, it's like really, well, there's a long tail on that. So let's see.
Like a star that shines and brightens up the
You know, why do we use effects like this? Why do we put delay and echo and things like that on a sound? Well, what it is we're simulating what our ears do in the room. When somebody plays the guitar in a room, the music bounces all over the room, and it creates this aura, kind of aural effect that goes in and does funny things with your brain, okay? And when we record, when I recorded that, those guitar pickups were right next to the strings. So they were meant to not pick up the room. They were meant to just pick up exactly what's coming off the strings. And so that's why we use delay and echo and reverb and flange and all of these other things, is to recreate the room that they're in. Now, if I had recorded the room instead, I'd be stuck with that room and say, well, maybe it's not the size of the room I want. But because I recorded the room, I'm stuck with that room. But if you just record right what's coming off the string, then we can run it into something and create the room size and aura and feel that we want. And that's why we use effects. The same with your voice and all. The same thing goes for your voice.
like a star that shines and brightens up the like a star that shines and brightens up the night.
What I'm going to do is send this and cut it out of the guitar, out of the music.
Like a star that shines and brightens up the night.
Okay, so what's happening here is this input here. Okay, what I've got to do, I believe, is go into here and select this guitar, all this guitar, select all of it. I kind of recorded it quiet, didn't pitch it either.
Like a star that shines and bright.
Okay, I think we're doing something here now. Let's see.
Like a star that shines.
I don't know. Okay, lead out to the lead guitar. Something's wrong here and I can't figure it out, but let's see what we've got here now. Let's get rid of this extra. Save this. Gain. Go back in here and I'm gonna get all this selected again. Let's bring all right, let's add Neutron. Let's see. Fab filter. No, it'd be here in iZotope. Neutron 4. Let's let Neutron analyze this.
Like a star that shines.
I don't know, Neutron sometimes takes all the warmth out of things.
Like a star that shines and brightens up. Like a star that shines.
I don't know why, but none of these volumes seem to be working. I think it might be this. Okay, now that's one of the problems.
Like a star.
Okay, now we got to do the same thing here. Or else my compressor is just going to be kind of even them out a little bit. Save this. Ever since I replaced that, moved all my USBs around.
The best kind of love. Like a star that shines and brightens up the night. How our love defines and makes everything alright. Our love is a castle that stands upon a hill, and in this retreat we are complete. Love is magic and love is a bird. We are complete. Love is magic. Love is magic.
Okay, we got
Love is magic.
edit, undo. This was a really hard part to sing. The love. I'm all crouped up today, but it was really hard to sing because I had to get really loud, like love, really loud, and then get really quiet on in the same note.
Love is magic and love. Love is magic and love is a bird. Love is magic and love is a bird with wings to the sky, like a butterfly. The best kind of love, the best kind of love. You fill every dream in how your love beams. The best.
Okay, so I'm having all kinds of problems with this now. Nectar is doing the S's, but the breaths here.
Love is magic and love is a bird with wings to the sky, like a butterfly. The best kind of love, the best kind of love. You fill every dream in how your love beams. The best kind of love. 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 The best its magic, and love is a bird with wings to the sky, like a butterfly. The best kind of love, the best kind of love. You fill every dream in how your love beams. The best kind of love. 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 The best kind of best kind of love. Best kind of love.
Okay, so we have our guitar part. So I think there was.
With wings to the sky, like a butterfly. The best kind of love. The best kind of love. You fill every dream.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I had somebody come into the comment section and ask about how to get their beats out of, and if you watch it all the way through here, I've bored everybody and they've all left, but this is how you get your beats out of Cakewalk, okay? So your beats are going to be here in this track view, okay? And we have your master view and your track view. And there's a couple ways of doing it. When you click on this project, okay, it's up in the left-hand corner here, or selection, and you can click either one. Now, if I click selection and I make sure that I click in one of the tracks, you have to make sure that you're not clicked in the master section, okay? See how I have one track selected in the master selection or in here? Make sure you don't have a track selected here, but instead you have at least one track that you have kind of active, okay, where you've clicked in the area here, okay? Then when I can hit Control and hit A, as you can see, it selects the whole project. It selects every track in the track part. And that's what you have to do to export your song. You have to select the whole song. Now, if I go to Project up here, then it's just going to look and say, okay, what has he got in the track section? I'll export that, okay? I prefer to do the selection thing because I don't know what if this particular project helper or assistant, that there might be, say, one little event like way out. Let's select. Okay, let's click off of this. I might have like way in here where we go to automation, volume, one way out here, just one little event. And then, so this is going to say, oh, the song goes way out to there because there's a little event, which is a volume event. Okay, so when I hit Control-Shift, when I can Control A, you see now when I select it, it takes and says, oh, no, your song ends here, but it's selecting all the way out. So it tells me that it's seeing this event. That's why when you export your song and suddenly you realize you've got 2 minutes of blank space at the end, that's why. So you go and look and find out if there are any events. You look down through your track and make sure that when you hit Control A and select all, that it actually selects only up to the end of your song here. And that's so that you're only selecting the area that actually has music in it. And if you hit Control A and it selects way, 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 way out here into something else, and then you have a problem. So then what you have to do is you go into selection and you just come up here. Okay, we're going to we'll take the selection off. Control Shift A unselects everything. And so I select in here, and what I do is I just come up here into the timeline and I go zoop, and I go across there and I drag as much as I want of the song and select it. And as long as everything gets selected, you can see all the tracks are now selected. As long as they're all selected, then you can hit this selection and you can export just the file selection. Okay? That's why I like to do selection, because it's more manual. And so I know exactly what I'm selecting, because I've uploaded songs, published them online and found out, oh my gosh, that song has a 2-minute blank space at the end. No wonder why it was 8 minutes long. So so you want to make sure that you go up here and select the area that you want to export. And once you do that, then you go and just make sure that everything is all, that your outputs and all are correct, and that all of your effects are all turned on properly. And now I went in here. Now all of these down here, I put their effect, and I went with this ozone. The only thing is now on my vocal reverb, I didn't do anything with that. So I'm going to just do a real quick insert on my vocal reverb and make sure that my vocal reverb, it's very important that my vocal doesn't disappear. So like a butterfly. See how bad that is? See, that is completely out of phase. So my voice would have, in mono, would have just pretty much disappeared in the song. So like a butterfly, the best kind of love, the best kind of love. You fill every dream in how your love beams. The best kind of love. Okay, I'm just kind of stunned at how much better that sounds with that. You can't have things out of phase in your song. You just can't. And so you can see how important just that one. It's like you leave that done, and your song has a major flaw in it. Okay. Now, I believe the music track here was a music loop. Okay, we're gonna take a like a butterfly, the best kind of love, the best kind of love. You fill every dream in how your love beams. The best
a star that shines and brightens up the night. How our love defines, makes everything alright. Our love is a castle that stands upon a hill, and in this retreat we are complete. Love is magic, and love is a bird with wings to the sky, like a butterfly.
Now it sounds like something in my voice is distorting.
Like a butterfly, the best kind of love, the best kind of love. You fill every dream.
Now I would think this breath control should probably go first.
Like a butterfly, the best kind of love, the best kind of love. You fill every dream, and how your love beams. The best kind of love.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back here, Control A, select all, make sure I don't have anything at the end. All right, I think I'm ready to do a mix down. I'm going to save this again. Unless I think of something at the last minute here. We're going to go now to File, Export, Audio, and I'm going to now double check everything. This is 48, 24-bit, because we're not changing any rate here. We're going to go with dithering at none. We're going to save this to the desktop. Select folder, and there it is. We're ready. Export. Okay, and this should export. Now, if you don't have any extra events that are like out beyond your project, like when you select all, then it doesn't matter if you have project or selection. Well, if you have selection selected and nothing selected, it won't export anything. But then project will work also. You just have to make sure that you have. Now, your waveform, when you click on in your master, when you click on this, while this is exporting, I could talk a little bit. You click on this little button here next to the mute and solo, and look at your waveform. And your waveform's got to look pretty healthy. So you don't want it clipping. And as you notice, I have something here, this ozone. It basically chops off anything that gets that jumps way up. Okay, so this ozone is chopping so it's not like going up there and clipping. It's actually being chopped off by ozone. And so the rest of this is pretty healthy looking. And as long as it doesn't it's some songs, I guess the way they want to do it is just to make sure the whole thing is like right up right up, being chopped right off and filling this whole thing like crazy. I don't mix songs like that. As long as they're roughly, as long as they fill this area pretty good, that's okay for me. Okay, as long as it's not this little teeny thin thing down the center, then your song should be fine. If it looks something like this, if you chop all the top off, you lose fidelity in your song also. And people can always just turn it up if they want to turn up your song. If they want it louder, they can turn it up. As long as it's not this thin line, then they'll have enough volume on their iPhone or their Galaxy phone to just crank it up, okay? Or the Android or phone. So they'll have enough volume usually, as long as it's roughly in this ballpark. Okay, so now we're going to do the MP3. So we're going to export audio, and we're going to change this to MP3. We got 48. That's got to be 44. And then we're going to go dithering power 3 because we're moving it from a 48-bit file, 48-bit kilohertz, down to 44. And when you jump kilohertz, when you move something down in kilohertz, you have to add something called dithering. It's like a tiny little bit of noise that it adds to your song to fix this kind of conversion. Okay, you're squishing all this, you're cutting little pieces out of the song to make it fit into a smaller thing, and so you add dithering and it smoothens everything out. Okay, it's some kind of, but it works, and so it sounds better when you have this dithering. So, and Power 3 is the best form of dithering. So you want to select Power 3, and we're saving it on the desktop. You export it, and MP3s have metadata in them, and so WAV files don't, but MP3s do. So I'm going to save this at 320 kilobits per second. I'm going to crank the quality over. I just always do that. I don't know why, but I just figure better is better. So then this is called the best kind of, I'm just going to go of love, okay? Artist, Rex Red. So the WAV file doesn't have all this stuff in there. 2023. Okay, and this is copyright. 2023. Rex Red. Red. And the genre is going to be folk rock. I know this one doesn't quite sound like folk rock, but that's whatever all the other stuff is I do kind of is, so it might as well. I could call this maybe dance or pop, but we'll just go with folk rock. And double check. Always double check everything. 320 quality, best kind of love, Rex Red. 2023 is the year. Copyright 23, and folk rock, and we are ready to go. So now we're going to see the progress up here of it mixing it down into. Thank you for the other like there. So I hope now if there was somebody in the chat in the comments who asked about how they mix their song down, how they get their beats out of Cakewalk. The last part of this video, I kind of went into detail about how to export your song once you make it. So if you're interested in exporting your song out of Cakewalk and you're not sure really the best way to do it, I go over pretty much everything about that subject, so that I can think of right now that's important. So sometimes what you'll find is when you go and do the Control A and select all, that there are events that are beyond here that are hidden, okay? You can't, it's very difficult to track them down and find out where is that darn event? Why is it adding a whole minute, or a whole minute after of dead space after my song? And so you can try and learn, which it's difficult, but you can try and learn how to hunt down those events and delete them so that when you Control A, it just selects to the end of your song like this. You can learn to hunt them down and find those events, or you can just drag across the top and select, make sure every track is selected in the track view, and then just click selection, and it will just edit that, and then it will ignore any events that are beyond that. And if you're not sure, if you keep looking and can't seem to find these events, when you hit Control A and it selects all, and it's selecting a whole minute beyond your song of dead space, I would suggest, if you can't find them, just drag up from here to the beginning of your song, make sure everything selects, and then hit selection up here. All right, Unreal. That's awesome, Unreal Oliver. Awesome. I'm glad that helps, because that's what I want to do, is make sure that I help you guys with the things that might be a problem spot for you. And so that's why I stopped, because I could have just gone and exported the song and done it real quickly, but I thought I'd say, let's break this apart and let's go into exporting the song. So you will find that almost no matter what you do, there will be little events hidden, and they're hidden, and they're very hard to find, and to delete them, so that when you hit Control A and select all, it selects way out here, and so the way around that, if you just don't want to mess with that, okay, you just want to take and click here and drag to the beginning, and as you notice, it selects in the track view, okay? Make sure you have a track selected in the tracks view, and then just drag, and it'll select the whole track view from beginning to end of your song, and then remember to select selection up here in the left corner. This is kind of new. This wasn't always here, but it's like maybe a year or so, couple years old, that this little thing's up here where you could select project or select selection. And as long as you see that only your song is selected up here, and you select selection, you will not have I can guarantee you will not have dead space at the end of your song. So that's what you do. And then I showed you how to, so we're going to save this file. It's done. Now I'm just going to go and save it one more time. Save as 9. Okay, because then if I come back in and I say, oh, I want to do some editing on this song, just fix some more, do some more mastering stuff, I don't want to go over, I don't want to change those mixes that I just did, because I'm going to publish them. I'm going to upload them to Reverb Nation, and so I just want to make sure that I don't go over, and because someone might come and say, well, I like the new changes you did, but I prefer the version before that. And so then I can say, well, as a matter of fact, I saved it, and I can just open it up, and this was the version before. And I've had people do that, where I added all kinds of instruments and did all kinds of new stuff to the song, and then they were just so adamant. They literally sat down and cried, because they thought, they wanted to go back to the previous version. It's like with all this drama and everything, and it's like, sorry, I didn't save the changes to that older version. You'll have to stick with the new version, or I can try to undo it. I will fire the cello player and the organist and the guitar player, and we'll go back to just the bare bones of the song. Yeah. So, all right. So this is the song now. It's done. This song is done. I'm gonna put it in videos. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna make a music video for it. I'm gonna make and this song was this was a lot of work to make this song. There were a couple things I thought I might add to it, like an organ and a cello, but I think I'm just going to not in this case. I think it would just kind of be a little bit too busy to add them in. So I think this is fine the way it is. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned some things from this. Please click on the bell for notifications on my channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you click on the bell for notifications, you may get a notification of when I get live. And Unreal Oliver, if you come back in when I'm here, if you have anything that kind of perplexes you or gives you a hard time with Cakewalk, be sure to ask about those things, and I'll go over like I did there about exporting in more detail so that there's something that's helpful to you in particular. That's what I'm here for, is not just to make my music, which making my music is an important part. I've got to get these songs out. But also along the way, it's nice to be able to share and help other musicians bridge the gap between things that they understand and don't understand as well. So thank you very much for the like, and thank you for coming in, and I hope this was helpful. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to try, because I work on music. I work on 3D art. I have another art channel called Easy 3D TV, and I do 3D art there. And I have a gaming channel called Rex Red Gamer. And so I work between 4 different things. I make music videos, I make music, I make 3D art, and when I'm not doing that and I'm taking a break, then I play games. And a lot of times I will work on them and not go live. I'm going to try and go live whenever I'm working on art or whenever I'm working. This thing is just jiggling like crazy. So the camera is jiggling and it's bothering me. So yes, I'm going to try and go live, and which means in any particular day I might just work on a song, and then all of a sudden I'm on my 3D channel, and then I'm on my gaming channel, and so and then I release a video on my video channel. So I'm following a lot of tutorials and courses on Cakewalk. And music theory, and I appreciate listening to producers sometimes. Yes, write down your questions, okay? If there's something you don't know how to do, you can always go into the Cakewalk forums, and they are really nice in the Cakewalk forums. But in here, you don't have somebody describe how to do it. You can see somebody doing it right here. So I have a ton of videos, and all of them are like this, where I just I work on my music and show all kinds of effects. Now, this is part 4 of this tutorial. So there are 3 other parts. Take this song some of my songs I start out while I'm still writing it, where I haven't even put down any music yet. This one, I'm not sure. I don't think I actually wrote. I didn't write the song live online, but I did. This song I wrote. I don't even think I have these words in a text, in a like a Word document or a text file. They're only in the song. I wrote them right here up in the markers, like a castle wall. I wrote them. I listened to the music. I got the music together, and then I just wrote the words right into the song. And that's, I've been doing that a lot lately. So what I'll have to do when I go to publish this is take these words out. And let me look at this. Is called The Best Kind of Love. And I don't believe I have. If I do, I've already done that then. So it's not here. No. So that means that these words are only, and I put them in Word documents. So what I need to do is open Microsoft Word. Go to here to blank. Normal, no spacing. We'll go like this, like that. Get this out of the way. Move this over here maybe, like this. And we'll give it the title. So The Best Kind of Love. Now, a lot of people put their chords, they put their chords up here. You don't want to put your chords up here, okay? You want to put your words up here. Because the words tell you exactly where you are, what verse you're in. Okay, so we go copy. Select all. I don't think I copied that. Copy. Let's go down like this. Let's pull this over like that. Let's get this out of the way. Let's make this a little smaller. Okay, so we're going to go here. Like a castle wall. Copy. There's a way to export these out, and I find it's harder than just going through here. Copy. Never to fall and never to part. Copy. Okay, never to part. What we have. Copy. And is more than the sky above. Copy. And I put an is. More than the sky above. This is supposed to have an is here. And all that we cherish. Come on. Copy. That all that we cherish. Okay, copy. Best kind of love. So if you want to put your chords in a song, what you do is you take like an event like this and you create a new track and you just put that event in that track and you you put that event in that track and then you make this tiny by like resizing it and making it small, and then you click on this and you go up into here and you go to here and we'll see where it says clip name, And then you just, in the clip name that's right here, you just put like a D minor or a E minor or an F. And then you have that F. Then you have that whole track with little clips that are, and the track is muted. But it took me a long time to figure that out. But you just take little events. It doesn't matter what they are. They can be a little clip like this, but you just rename the clip here. You go up into this little wave thing and the clip name, and so then you'll have like a D minor there. And you know that in that part of the song you switch to D minor or you switch to a different chord. And then you copy and paste this, and then you just change it to like F or E minor or something as you're going along through your thing. But you always put your lyrics up here. Don't mess with lyric view, okay? Lyric view is buggy. It doesn't work right. You can work for hours in lyric view and still not get anything. You just put your they're hard to read and hard to see, but you just zoom out and you can read, and you'll know exactly where you are. The best, all that we cherish, the best kind of love. All right, love is magic. So this is where I put my copy, my lyrics. Always, always, always. Love is magic, and love is a bird. Copy. Love is a bird with wings to the sky. Copy. Cancel like a butterfly. Copy. The best kind of love. Okay, so we're going to copy this. Best kind of love. Okay, the best kind of love is twice. You fill every dream and how your love beams. Copy. I try to using the word beams. I rarely use that in a song, and that's what I try to do is just make rhymes that I don't use so often, so my song isn't true and blue and I love you kind of lyrics, that they're just that I use words that are that I don't use all the time. Okay, so now I think that's the end of this. So we come to verse 2. Like a star that shines and brightens up the night. Copy. You know, I read all the famous writers and brightens. I don't know if I B-R-I-G-H-T. Yeah, that's misspelled. And S, right? B-R-I-G-H-T-E-N-S, brightens up the night. And, you know, they use the same English language. You know, it's right now, how brightens up the night. Have to fight and claw for equal treatment and makes everything all right. Our love is a castle. See, I mean, like, how often have you heard somebody say that in a song? You just have to try and come up with things that stands upon a hill. Copy. You just have to write things. Okay, this is another verse. And in this retreat, we are complete. years ago, I think I might have been better at writing hooks than I am now, but love is magic. Okay, now I can copy this part. Love is magic, and love is a bird with wings to the sky like a butterfly. The best kind of love. Okay, here we go. The best kind of love.
Best kind of love. The best kind of love. Best.
Okay, so we got this copy. I think best kind of love. All right.
Best kind of love. Best kind of love. The best kind of love. Best kind of love. The best kind of love. Best kind of love. The best kind of love.
Okay, this was okay. I can't use today's date because this was written a while back. Let's see if some save as. Let's see how far this goes back. 129. This would be 2/4. No, this today. Okay, date modified. We're going to type date created. Where's the date created? Okay, how do we add that? Date created. Okay, we're looking. This one was 12/5. That's roughly, no, it was later. I wrote the words later. So it would be 129 was when I wrote the words. One 29 23. Save. Desktop. Okay. So that's the lyrics now also. Let's get the space out of here. The best kind of love. Cancel this. So we'll save this. Now, I think it's already saved. I don't want to, okay, I did change actually a couple of lyrics here. I don't think I deleted anything by accident, but I can go back. So that's that. So just so you know, now you will not have anybody on YouTube tell you to put your lyrics up here, okay? Because I'm probably the only person who does it, but I'm telling you to put your lyrics up there, okay? That's where you want to put your lyrics. Is up here, okay? Up in here, okay? And if you want to put don't put chords up here, because what happens is then you have like E, F, and F, G, and and A, and all these chords up here, but you don't know where the chorus is or where the you don't know where the instrumental stops. You see that's where the words stop and the instrumental starts in here. And then you have, then this is where so it tells you, having your words up here always lets you know where you are in the song. This is like this is where the chorus and
like a butterfly.
Here's where the chorus starts.
Best kind of love.
So I know where, and there's like this bridge here. This is the bridge.
Love is magic, and love is a bird with wings to the sky.
So that's where the bridge is. So the words just tell me exactly where I am in the song, whether if I'm in the beginning of the song or the first. So, and the chords are just going to be like, what the heck, you know? So the chords are like secondary. So you just start another track, another audio track, and you put some kind of event in there. And you just keep copying that event. And like I said, you click on the event. And then you come up here to this area here and just give that event like the name of your chord. And so you'll have that little chord, it'll say D minor, and then you copy that event, and when it switches to changes to another chord, you just paste that event into this kind of dummy track, and then you change it to F. And so at the right there where it says Melodyne record 3, it would say like D minor instead. But instead it says Melodyne record 3. I can just change the name to the chord. And so you have like a bunch of little events here, and they're all muted on this track, but it tells you your chord changes so that when you're trying to play along, or a guitar player is trying to play along, they have to be able to see them, I guess, in the thing, but they're not going to be able to see these up. If they can't read these up top here, you know, they're not going to be able to read the chord, you know, chords in this. But the thing is that you can make this a little bit bigger like that. So it's just you have to be able to read this to get them to hear the chords. To read, you can put them on a piece of paper and everything, but when you're going through, you can go through the whole song, and you don't have to keep. You can just kind of look and as the chords going along, you can follow along the chords, and so you don't have to thumb through pages and stuff like that, and you can just follow along and know the next chord, look ahead, follow the chords. So that's how I do it, and it works. And I rarely, usually I just kind of know what the chords are anyway. I just kind of listen. If I mess up, I stop and punch in the chord again, and I rarely have to put the chords in, but I always have to have my words in the song. You have to have the words in your song, the lyrics in the song. So, you know, the chords are kind of self-evident. Anybody with an ear can figure out the chords in your song, but the words, those are so unique. So put your words up in the markers, okay? That's my tip. And it just becomes much simpler. And if you need the chords in a song, sometimes a guitar player just says, oh, you know, sometimes you have some complex chords in a song. And when you do, just set a track aside, mute it, and put some events in it, and put your chords on each event, and copy and paste the events along. And there you go. Those are your chords. So it works really well, and so it can be very, very, very helpful so that you can just watch the song as it progresses and play the chords along as it goes along. So very good. That's going to do it for me. I'm ready now to upload this song. It's on my desktop here. Where did it go? Where did it go? The Best Kind of Love 8. We got the WAV file. And where is the Best Kind of Love MIDI? That would be over here. The Best Kind of Love MIDI, MP3, I mean. So that's going to be going up online. So thank you for watching. Take care. Take care, Unreal Oliver. You're awesome. You are awesome. And keep it up. Keep learning. And come back. Please come back to my live Cakewalk videos. All right, so again, please like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Oh, thank you for the compliment on the song, too. Very nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's that's why I do this, is that it are compliments like that. Okay. It's like, that's why you're a musician. That's why you're a musician, is because you want, you go through all the work, you learn to play the instruments, you learn to learn Cakewalk, you learn all these skills, you learn how to mix, how to master, and you do all those things, all so that that final thing is that where you get to the audience, where it's you and them, and that's where it is. It's me with you coming in here. It's very nice, Oliver, to have that compliment. That just that makes all that work and everything that I do worth it, just because that's what it's all about, is that final thing of you can, so many musicians never make it to the audience, and that's the important thing, is and it's like, you want to, YouTube is very nice to me, but they could be nicer. They could share it with more people. That's because that's what it's about, is that's why I've spent all these years working on music, is so that people will hear it, so that people will hear these songs. And thank you for that compliment. I hope you receive very nice compliments as well on your music, and that your music goes out and reaches people as well. So, and you can have the joy of sharing your music with people. So do well, work at it. You'll get it. You'll learn it. So you will learn it. If you watch my videos, they're free, and so if you watch them, you'll learn Cakewalk. Okay, if you just watch them over and over and over, you will learn Cakewalk. Because I have been using Cakewalk since before Windows. Before there was any Windows, it was called Cakewalk for MS-DOS. Okay, that's how long I've been using Cakewalk. Longer than any Cakewalk teacher on YouTube. Okay, I've been using Cakewalk longer than any Cakewalk teacher on YouTube. Just so you know. I mean, that the other teachers on YouTube know that I have been using Cakewalk. I was a registered user of Cakewalk for MS-DOS. That was before I even had Windows. So there wasn't even Windows 3.1. It was just Cakewalk for DOS. There may have been Windows 3.1, but it didn't. But Cakewalk didn't work in Windows. It only worked in MS-DOS. So you had to go out of Windows and load it up in MS-DOS in order to use Cakewalk. And we couldn't put our voices in Cakewalk. So I had a reel-to-reel, and I would push play on my keyboard, and it would start my reel-to-reel. and my voice was on the reel-to-reel, and my MIDI was on Cakewalk. So, and I was also doing I made music before Cakewalk. I made music before MS-DOS. I made music on Commodore 64s, on the Commodore 64 with a little plug-in thing that went into your keyboard called Master Tracks. So you will learn about Cakewalk if you watch my videos. They're pretty much all you need to learn Cakewalk. And plus, I teach a lot of mastering stuff and show you all these programs that I use with Cakewalk. So I've changed, if you go back to the very first video on my channel, that might not be the best way to do it. What I would do is go to my latest videos and go backwards because if you go to my very first video, there's a lot of things that I don't do anymore that I did back then, that I just got better programs and better stuff. So work your way backwards, okay? Go from the latest videos and watch them as you go back. And there might come a time where you just don't need to watch any more of my videos because it's like, I get it. I figured it out. I think I know what I'm doing. So because I go over a lot of things and over it again and again, and that's what you need. That's how you learn, is by repetition. So very good. Take care, and I will see you again in another video. Alrighty, bye-bye. This is Rex Red saying so long, and thanks for checking in with CBB TV. That's Cakewalk by BandLab TV. All right. I will see you soon.